I'm Rhett Baker. I'm a senior at St. Joseph's Catholic School. And for my project, I really didn't even realize that this would be my project until I was almost finished with it. After going to camp here last summer, and then we visited the Frazee Center, it kind of stuck with me. It's like, hey, this is really a great thing they got going on. And so, kind of right when school started, I got with one of my administrators, and we were having a conversation kind of about this. And I told him about maybe having something set up where we have students go there. And he said he just received an email from one of his friends who works there that they wanted to try and do the same thing. So it worked out perfectly, and we started having students go just about every day. And then just kind of went from there. I said my whole vision for this was kind of, I've noticed a lot in Greenville County definitely that we have a lot of kids that aren't even able to graduate high school just because, not because they aren't smart enough, but because there are problems at home and in their neighborhoods to where they have other priorities, whether it's taking care of one of their parents or their grandparents or other siblings, or they have to have a job and they have other things that kind of take place over school. And so they aren't allowed to do that. And it really kind of starts from, at a young age, having a role model, having someone there that can really help guide you, or even if they aren't there 24/7, living with you, they're, that maybe a couple times that hands-on experience really sticks with you, really impacts you. I remember when I was in elementary school, we had a thing in my school called book buddies, and I still remember my book buddy was Julian Taylor when I was in 1st grade and he was in 5th grade. Just having that older person around you really has an impact on you. And so all throughout elementary school, even middle school, if I was making a decision about something, or if my mom wanted me to make a decision about something, she'd ask me, Rhett, what do you think Julian would do in this situation? And kind of go from there. And so I kind of wanted to bring that to Frazee, to those kids. And so just kind of, if they're not around the best environment, just even the slightest thing, I think, can make a huge difference. I kind of reiterated that more specifically, at a young age, it's huge having someone older or just around you that's not a parent or not a teacher, someone that you consider more of a friend than someone who's going to, they can be nice to you and still help you out, but they're also going to discipline you. With us, you aren't usually going to have a high school kid really discipline a younger kid. And so the way it worked is, at my school we have study halls, and for those fortunate enough to have a 4th period study hall, which is right before our lunch period, we decided what we would do is we would take those kids who didn't have a class, and we would take the van over to Frazee and stay there for the 4th period study hall and the lunch period, so we would have some extra time. Really the main issue that we were having at first was the school going to be okay with kids leaving the campus during the day? And luckily enough, the administration loved it. They loved that we were kind of going out, going back in the communities. So they were all for it. And they have the triangles and the squares, the 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds over at Frazee. And we were only with the squares for the most part, and they don't have that many kids. And so we were limited to how many people we could take each week, just because you can't have a room with about 20 high school kids and only 8 younger kids. That just wouldn't be very efficient. And so we split them up into 2 groups, the kids that could go, and we just, we went, I can't remember exactly how many times we went, but we went for the better part of the fall semester. Just going there, and it was only for about an hour each time, and just hanging out with them, playing with them. It was really, we'd get there, we'd each kind of have our own kid that we were with, and we'd just follow them, do whatever they wanted to do it with them, whether it's, eating fake food like I am right there, playing in sand, or one day we painted model airplanes. So it was really a lot of fun, and the kids seemed to enjoy it. Their teachers told us that almost every day they're asking, when are they coming back, when are they coming back? And so that felt really good for all the kids that were able to go visit. Just knowing that you're going to make a smaller child happy. What happened was, after the fall semester, spring semester came around, and a lot of classes got moved, and so most of the same people would not have been able to go. I wasn't going to be able to go either because I had a class. And also, there was also another similar thing going on at my school, except with St. Anthony's, and it was a later period. And the big Catholic connection with St. Joe's and St. Anthony's kind of seemed to trump Frazee just a little bit. So what I'm hoping to do with Mr. Gabe Lewis, the administrator who kind of helped facilitate all this, is we're looking for, maybe it's an after-school thing. It's not something that takes place during school, or it's a weekend thing to where it can be more solid, to where you're not having to worry about the availability of students, because that study hall period is really used for studying, of course, but also, say you miss a day, you have to make up a test, or you have to, you're having to do something for class. It really conflicts with, trying to get over to Frazee and see those kids. And that was really the biggest challenge we had, was just, students' availability, being able to go each week and make that commitment, not knowing if something was going to come up that next, the day before, something that you can't miss. But hopefully, within the next year, I'm going off to college, but I'd love to find another student. We didn't have any juniors go with us this year, but we'd like to extend it to more grades. And like I said, with Mr. Lewis, he knows the whole student body really well, and he probably have the best mind for picking the next person to basically lead this into next year and hopefully build it up from